Okay folks, so I'm starting a new one here. 16 by 12 on extra fine cotton canvas. Now, and what I'm using here are just some soft flats. This is a number 10 Rosemary & Co. Shiraz long flat. Now most of what I'm putting up here will be done with mineral spirits or white spirits and a little bit of liquid in the sky maybe, but overall just a general underpainting here. And I will be keeping it nice and warm and what have you. So here we have some oxide red, some blue and some raw umber. Now nice and thin layers here. Okay, so just now, not entirely, I want this nice and rough in certain areas, but I'm going to do the whole thing in a roughish manner. Okay. Now, using lots of kitchen towels today. Oh, mama dee daddle dee 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 dee. Right, so some blue, some raw umber, some ordinary cadmium red, some more blue. Just wanna and lots of spirits just to thin the whole thing out, folks. Don't fence me in. La da dee 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 dee, la da dee 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 dee. I think what I'll do before I contaminate my brush with white, I'm just going to put in some greens here at the base. It'll be an orangey green, of course. Nice warm painting today. And what do I think of this? I think I'm okay with it. Yes. Okay. Now, up here too. Now, I'm just going to be a wee bit more cautious with my application here. I don't want to be going up too far into the drawings here. With the starry eyes above, don't fence me in, daddle dee da da dee, la da 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 dee. Don't fence me in. Anyway, just keeping it rough, folks. Putting it on, wiping it off. Putting it on and wiping it off, folks. Now, I'm not moving fast on purpose. It's just the way I like to do it. I'm going to bring that down a little bit further. La da dee da da dee, da 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 dum. Nice dark building here, folks. Trying to not cover this up. This is a nice look. So I'm going to be just scraping this on, and I will sharpen the edges with a palette knife later on. Lots of different colors in these things too, folks. Lots of different, just for variation purposes. Don't fence me in. Da da dee da da dee, la da 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 doo. Okay. Now, just having a second there. Now what I want to do here is I want this to be a little bit darker in the reddish thing. With the starry eyes above. Now I'm going to let that set up. And what I mean by setting up is I'm going to let it dry, just a touch. And because I'm using only spirits here, that will not take long at all to set up. Don't fence me in, la da dee da da dee. Now the same. Now let's get over in this area done here. What a nice dark red in here. So I'll use some cadmium, some raw umber, some black and ultramarine blue. Now let me see, how far do I want to bring the base of this down? I think I'll bring it down to about here-ish, to a certain. I'm just dancing this around on purpose, folks, just trying to create the abstractions that you get with all of that, all of those leaves and branches and what have yous. As I say, I'm just letting this set up before I go any further with it, and I'm having a wee look to see here. I think, what should I do? I think what I'll do here, so I'll put a little bit of orange in this, and that will allow me to mess around with it a little bit later. I'm mix on the canvas in this one for a part of it. I'm staying away from the white for the time being. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. Don't fence me in. Okay, now back to the kitchen towel. Really roughen this area up, folks. Let me see now. Okay, right now, what to do? And what to do now, folks? Just cleaning off a brush there. So I'm going to put in the sky. So now I'm going to add in some white to this bluey red over here. This violet. I think maybe, oops, I picked up the wrong one there, but it'll do. Black is fine. I'm just trying to get this to be a bit blue. There we go. Now, as I say, this will be, I will be mixing this on the canvas. I purposefully didn't let this one set up. I want this to have this. I want this to be... I purposely didn't let this area set up. I want this area to be relatively wet for me to be able to blend with what's underneath it. Don't fence me in, la-da-dum, la-da-dee, la-da-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Look at that. Just get that all working together the best you can. Now let me see. Up in here. A nice dark one here, folks. Just in there. Alright. Now let's bring up the darker area of it to meet it. So a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of red, tiniest bit of spirits, just to work this in. Now I'm just getting it all set here first. Now, let's just work it in. And I will use, of course, I'll be using some, what do you call it, folks? What will I be using? Some kitchen towels. Just to get all that to work together. A real nice blended area there. Okay, look at that. That's working for me. Very good. Very, very, very good. Right, so now let's get in some yellow-ish. I think that maybe be okay. Let's see now. Just right in the center here. Let me see now. Is that dark enough? No, I don't think it is dark enough. Just staying away from the edges just for the time being. I will work them in soon enough. Trying my best to not completely contaminate this area in the center. Now I will go towards the edges. Okay, just gently, folks. Just working it in gently. Here we go. I probably will wipe some of this area out. In fact, I will do that now. Just it's over a bit too far. Okay. La da da dee, la da 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 dee, la da da dee. Let me see now what do I do here? What do I do? Okay, now the thing about moving fast is that you can't always keep up that pace. You kind of need to slow down and take a step back and see where you are. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out a good stippling brush and just work all this together. Somebody at the door, folks. Won't be long. Okay, so I want to get this all stippled in now. Get it. So I want a nice soft brush. And here, this one here. I've been using this one for a while and it has fallen apart. Maybe just try and glue it or something. But anyway, let's get the center of this done here. Now the reason I'm continuing to use these, and I must admit, they rarely shed hair, the makeup brushes. I don't know why, but whatever they do, they don't shed hair. But the reason I'm reluctant to always change brushes is because of the shedding of the hair. But anyway, these seem a bit better than most for that. Okay, so let's see where we are here. Okay, this is okay. This is going all right, so it is. But I think I just want to bring this down a bit behind the house, so the house is a little bit more silhouetted whenever I put the relevant colors in and tones. I'm just going to drop it down a touch. Just wiping it off. That's the easiest way to do it, folks. And then, and I have dirtied my brush, so I'm going to put another one on. Just use the edges of this. La da 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 da, don't fence me in. So let me see. Yep, that's okay. A little bit above the house is fine. I just want that lighter tone behind the house, or close enough behind the house, I should say. A smaller brush, smaller stippling brush. Nice and gently, folks. You don't need to go nuts. Now, I'm just going to bring the darkness of this up a little bit further. Let me see. Yes. Just up a touch. I just think it's a bit. Let me just have a wee look to see what I'm doing. I think what I'll do, actually, I'll just put a little bit of blue on the edge of it here. So I will. Just to get that tonal change, or that, sorry, temperature change. So we'll have all nice warms mixed with a lot of nice cools, with some cools. Nice cool area along here, nice cool area up in here. We can develop that contrast. Now let me just see here what I'm at. I just want to bring that across a bit. At least for now. At least for now. Let me just clean off this stippling brush and see. Oops, there's still too much on it. Just stippling that edge there, folks. Might as well just work this in. There we go. No harsh edges at the minute, folks. Not at the minute. Now I want some cooler areas. Don't fence me in. Let me see here. Is this too cool? No, no, that's fine. That's okay. Just off in the distance. Maybe a little bit of a cool area in here. Just want to, you know, slightly darken this area up here. Maybe just a touch, you know. Nothing too bad here. Okay, now I just want to soften some edges here. And then I'll move to the water to begin with, just in here. See these edges here? There we go. Let me see what I think of this. Yes, I am happy with this, folks. Now I'm going to work a little bit on the house just to darken up some edges while I have the colors on the palette here, folks. Now I'm just going to be scraping these on. Now I'm going to bring this up. I think that these buildings are a bit too high. Yep. I think the buildings are a bit too high. No, I don't mean high, I mean actually. They're a bit too long for my liking. Don't fence me in. La ba dum da ba doo. La da dee 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 dee. Let me see, what do I think? Oops, nearly dropped the brush. Right, now I'm going to use a bit more of a red on this. Let me see, what I'll do is I'll remove some of it first. Just at the base here. Keeping those edges dark. Okay, I want a bit of a darker red than I have up. Let me see. What do I think of that? I'm okay. That's not so bad, you know. That's okay. I just want to, now I'm going to establish the horizon line here a little bit better. Going to be cutting right across this. Maybe drop this one down a little bit, but we'll see. Now, what brush do I have to do this? I'll get another one. Okay. So we're off in the distance here a little bit, so I want some greys here, and I'm just going to use what's on the palette. Just to grey out that green. Now I'm coming across here. I think I'll lift it up a touch. I think maybe a bit more blue in certain areas, maybe. Give me some of that cerulean blue to really grey out this green. What do I think there? I think now I've got too much of a slant in it. I don't know. You know what? I'll create a plane. Yeah, that'll be a bit better. I don't know, folks. I don't know. Kind of having a moment here. I think I'll shorten the buildings again. So I do. So let's get me some paint. Some grey greens here. Some grey greens. A little bit of spirits on it to help it loosen it up a bit and come off the brush a bit better. So I'm going to be here, going to make a decision, and that's where it's going to be. Half the times your problems are because you're not making any decisions, you're just going with it. Now what do I think of that? It has a nice slant to it a little bit. Wonder should I make it, I'll make it even, because slants could be seen as a mistake unless they're really slanty, unless they have an obvious slant on them. Right, okay, now I'm not going to completely cover this, but I just want you to know that it's coming down to this area here. I don't like what's being left behind there. So, just gently now. With the starry eyes above, don't fence me in. Right, okay, now just for the water here, just get this in. Nice warm red along here. And the same over here. Now maybe you have to put out some more red here. Let me see. Come out a little bit further than that. All right, okay. And again, just wanting to bring this up a little bit higher is all. Let me see. Okay, now give me just a soft brush will do. This is a dry brush, folks. That'll do it there. Look at the roughness of that now. That pays off well, that roughness. So this here, I don't know why I filled that whole thing in, but anyway, I did. So I'm going to just about there-ish, should do it. Just trying to match that to some degree. Probably a bit better that way. From the starry eyes upon. I do have to put out some red. Just to get myself a nice warm orangey here. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Maybe a bit darker than that. A little bit of that oxide red, and it should help darken that down a touch. Wiping that off, look at the colour that leaves behind, and I'll be able to work a nice white into that, which will give me the look that I'm after. Now, so I've already got the white here. And all I'm doing is just going to blend this in with what's already on the palette here. Let me see, just bum 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 ba dee da da do. And I just let that naturally blend in there. That'll do it. Probably could do with a bit brighter, but for the time being that's fine. So where's my wee brushes? There's one. Okay, that's nice. Now, just working all that in, a nice soft transition. And I think I will whiten it a little bit more. While I have the colour here. Just a little bit. And then I'll work that in. Just working in the edges to begin with. There we go, nice and gentle. All right. It is a bit too bright for me now, at least for now, you know, and I'll probably change my mind a wee bit later. But I'm just going to knock it back a little bit. Yeah. Okay, that'll do. Now the roof, the roofs. I'm going to use this. Oops. I think what I will do is I'll put them in now and then I will sharpen them whenever it has dried. So, I'm just thinking to myself, folks, I'll just begin with this and I'll see what I think of it. You know, it'll just be its first layer anyway. I'll probably have to come along and... Nah, it needs to be brighter than that though. Let me see. Yes. Yes. Now a little bit darker in this one here. It's already sitting there, so you do see it. Don't need to draw too much attention to it as it's already there. Now let me see if I can find my drawing again. I think that's it there. Oh no, I can't have it the same color as the sky, folks. You'll not see the thing. So you won't. So a little bit of a slate color. And let's see if I can just... See, the beauty about this is that I can come along later and just highlight it and do what needs to be done. Now, if I was talking to seasoned oil painters and well, they could teach me a few things, I wouldn't be saying that the beauty about this is that, but because highlighting is a big part of it all. So if you're a seasoned oil painter listening to this, just ignore me, if you can. Okay, now it's not as rough as I would like it, so I'll wait till it dries and then scrape some highlights onto it. La la da da dee, la da 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 dee. A nice small sharp brush. I'll just wash this one off. So some black, some oxide red, bit of raw umber, a little bit of spirits. Too much, dragging it down too much. I still want to keep that rough looking part of it, folks. So I do. Right, so let me just... I need to wipe some of this off if I want to keep that rough look. And I'll do that now, just along the base here. Okay, now the same again on the large one here. Just creating that dark in the eaves here. And I will sharpen that with a knife. In fact, I might just do it now. I'll do it when it's dry, I think. Let me just see, what do I think? Should I do it when it's dry? Should I do it now? Right. I think I'll do it now. It's yeah, I'll do it now. I can always come along and redo it later if I don't like what I'm doing here. In fact, doing it now will give me a better opportunity to do that later. So, just an old palette knife. That's an actual painting knife, not one of those scrapers that you can buy. So let me just... Nice and sharp, folks. Alright. That's nice. Look at the sharp line that creates. Now, same on the other side. Just setting this brush down here. Making sure that there we go. Up a little bit further. There we go. Well, I'm happy with that. So I'll just brush it in a little bit here and there. Try not to break the edge here. I'm happy with that. With the starry eyes above. Now, I think I'll do the same here, and I'll need a different size of knife here. Look at that, that's almost perfecto. Almost perfecto. Right, well, I'm almost finished here with a underpainting. Alright, okay. Alright, same again. Only I'm just going to take the edge off it here because it's a bit too long. So, right there and there. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Let's just drag this down. Now, where is it? There we go. Let's just drag this down a bit. Trying not to break that edge. Nice and sharp, folks. Nice and sharp. Now, whoa. Just going to. Well, I just want to see what's happening here. So let me try this one now. Okay. Taking the edge off it here. Oh, lovely and sharp. Lovely and sharp. Let's try not to mess up the edge again. But I do need to find the brush. There we go. There we go. I don't know if I want to do too much more of that. I'll maybe chuck a odd tree in and over it here and there. The same with this edge here. It's nice. The edge of that is fine. So I'm just going to mess about a little bit. Barely touching the canvas here, folks. Just dragging that down there just to give that a bit of a highlight. All right, okay. Don't fence me. Right, what I'm going to do, folks, I need to take a walk back. One thing I've gotten out of the habit of doing is walking back. I'm not too keen on that, you know. I prefer to walk back more often. And let me just have a little look-see. Yeah, that's pretty good to begin with. Now there's a lot of trees and reflections yet to go into it, and this green here has to be fixed up, which I'll probably and most likely do when it's dry. This needs darkened, maybe not so much up here, and then lots of vertical trees to go into it. I don't want to put them in now, even as a point of doing it. I don't want to put them in now to remind myself. I just want to. I think I'll wait. Oh, I need in here done. I think I'll wait before, because I'll put another coat over the top of this and darken areas. So what was it I was saying there? I need done is that little corner over here. Right, okay. Here, I'll do for the time being, folks. Probably bring that up a little bit more. Something like that. I just let that be in the corner. And as I say, just the odd, not the odd, but a tree here, another one or two or three along, and then I can reflect those in the water here, and so on and so on. Right, anyway, I'll see you whenever I'm coming back to finish this. I'm just having a wee look at the water before I go any further. And I'm okay. Right, that's it. I'll see you all soon enough. Bye for now. Okay, folks, let's get back into this little one now. I'm going to lighten this sky just a little bit of an area up here, just a touch. Straight into it, no mussing, no fussing on all of that. Right, so tiniest bit of oxide red, just a touch. Now most of what I'll be doing here is glazing and all of that part of it, folks. A little bit more yellow. Now I take a good bit off the brush and add in some white. Now a little bit of glazing and scumbling, all of that stuff will be today's theme. Let me see. Now is that just that is just about where I want it. So it is. First time, that's not so bad. And then just work those edges in. There we go. Now let's get over to the main tree over here. Or the main tree, the main bunch of stuff and thingies going on over here. Stuff and thingies. That, again, all this rich terminology that I use. Stuff and thingies. Let me see. Just trying to create some light in this part here. Don't want it too much. Now, let me see. Just creating some shapes in here, folks. Maybe even a bit darker than that, but I'll just wipe it in type of thing. Let me see in here, a little bit bright. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Right, so now let's work a little bit on the things here. Before I start the grass, before I start the vertical trees, I want to make sure all of this is where I want it. What I do want, though, for sure, is a little type of a windy in here. A little dark windy, and let me see, is that... I'll just use this. Yeah, it's just a wee Da Vinci brush. And I'm going to put in a little bit of a dark patch here. So let me see now. Just hand draw this in. Alright, you can just about see that, so I'm just going to, and I don't want it to be very apparent, I'm just going to knock it back a little bit and just work the edges of it in. That's a bit better. Now let's add some detail to this. Let's get some darkness on the eaves while I'm here. The same down here. I'm going to get myself a bit of a drier brush and a bit of a hard one here. Just working those edges in. And I'll redo that window again. I think it just kind of went over it a bit too much. There we go. Alright, so let me see now. I just want to denote this side of the building here. Okay, nice and just creating some of the darker patches. Yeah, this is more of a glaze than it is. Maybe it's a bit of a scumbling too, a mixture between scumbling and glazing. Just softening that edge a touch, making that a bit of a gradient. Let me see now, is there much more I want to do to this? Not at the minute, no. I think what I'll do is I will focus on the grasses here. I'll get myself in a nice green cool grass, and I don't want it too saturated. So if you want to knock back a green, you use a red. And this time I'm going to use a little bit of cadmium red. I've used too much. There we go. And let me see now. That's the kind of a bluey green that I'm after. I think. And just going to scumble this on. Let me see now. Just a wee bit more raw umber in it. Just to neutralize the saturation a bit. There we go. I think I'm happy with that, but I'm unsure, folks. I think I'm happy, but I'm unsure. Let's see. I still think it's too saturated. Yes, too saturated for me. So a little bit of raw umber, a little bit of the black, and a little bit of the sky in it. Just graying it out a little bit as I'm going along here. A little bit more blue. I don't want a saturation up in here. Have it down here, of course, if I feel like it, but not up there. That's a bit better, I think. Again, this will be a case of stepping back and seeing. Let me see. Yeah, it's a bit better. Still not entirely happy with it, so a little bit more oxide in it. A little bit brighter, maybe. Now what I'm going to do is add a little bit of spirits in it just to thin this out a touch. So that I can lift it as well. I want to be able to lift it with my cloth here. Okay. Just so I can have that roughness of it, folks. A little bit more spirits in it. And that's helping to keep the background there so that you can see the background as well to some degree. Okay, now that's not bad at all now. That's a nice, just texture this a little bit by Just lifting it. Okay, now I want to pretty much do the same all over here. Except just changing the tones and the colours as I'm going. A little bit darker. Now, adding some spirits in it. Again, keeping it thin so that I can have that background showing through. I don't want too much on the brush either. I just want to drag this across. Look at that, just creating that roughness. Now this sets up very, very, very quickly, like really quickly. So it does. So I'm just going to be, look at that, lovely. So again, keeping that background there. Now you can see how much it helps it. Now as I'm coming up here, maybe a bit darker, a little bit of black in it. I just want to darken it, a little bit of red in it to warm it up a touch. Just coming up here. And a little bit of spirits. Now the thing about doing it this way, you have to be pretty careful doing it this way, because you could lift the work that you have done by using the spirits. So you have to be gentle enough at this stage. And that's keeping that dark, you see. Now just gently. Just gently. That's keeping this area nice and dark. So I'm going to drag across a dark patch. Some black, and some oxide red, a little bit of raw umber. And let me see, just this is where I want some trees to be coming up along here, type of thing. This type of thing. So, and now I'm just going to, too much on the brush to do what I want to do. Just flick it up, create a little tufts of grass. I think so. Look at that. It really does the trick, doesn't it? Now I'm unsure if I want to, what do I want to do with this? I think maybe I'll think about it as I'm going along, but at the minute, nothing at the minute. I'm going to have a number of trees along here, so I'm just going to do pretty much the same thing as I just done. Just to allow for the bedding of the trees here, as it were. So again, just gently. Now a little bit darker in the belly of it, just here. All right. Okay. Nice. I think what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of a broken grass area here. Let me see about this. Don't know. I'll go over it if I don't like it. I don't want to draw the eye too much to this area, but I want you to cut off here as well. So keep that in mind for compositional purposes. So let me see along here. Now I need a bit more control over my brush here. So I'll do that. I'll get that with a little bit of spirits. Oh, I said a little bit. That was quite a lot. So let me see, I'll just kind of... I need a... what do I need here? That's fine, that's okay as it is. I can fill in the rest with actual grass. This is quite matte. So I'm just going to add a little tiniest bit of liquid to it, just to bring it back to life here, till I see what it would look like when it's varnished. And that's fine, so it is. That's okay. Alright, okay, now. That's good. Now the reason I've done that is I wanted to match this, but I also am aware that I'm also aware that this is very matte, and I wanted to make sure that I was having pretty close to the proper tone there, and I think I was close enough anyway. Right. I'm going to work on this bit here. No, not yet. No, I'll leave this one till last. I'll start putting in some trees here. So I'll put in some of the trees. Now, what to use? This is the conundrum at times. What should I use? Thin trees and thick trees and thick trees and thin trees. So I'll put in a nice dark red tree. Now what I'm using here, if I can read it, is a Size 2 Rosemary and Co. Evergreen Egbert. Apparently that's what that is. A little bit of ultramarine blue. Now, loosen it up. I will probably change this brush, but I'm going to see first whether I like it or not. A little bit of a press, just to thicken the base of it. So let me see. I don't want to make too many decisions yet. Look at that, right up off the canvas. Yes, now I think a bit thicker, just along here, just down from about here, just widening on a touch. So pressing into the canvas with the brush, and that will help widen the brush. There we go. Oh yes, yes. Now I just want to come off it a little bit. This is a nice brush for it, for doing what I'm doing. Okay, I'll have another one here, just work this in a touch. Have another one here beside it. So, same again, some black, some oxide red, a little bit of ultramarine, and a little bit of spirits, just to reduce its viscosity a touch. Now, let me see. Oh, something on the fingy. Just a second. Alright. So nice and close to it. There's something on this brush and it's bugging me. Hold on a wee second. Or is it on me? Anyway. Right, okay, just along here. Relatively close to it. And again, I'll do a thin one. Thinnish. I'm just taking my time here, folks. There's no rush. And you see I'm just jutting my hand up and down and up and down. That helps create some little natural kinks in this. So a little bit thicker. Pressing again. And as I get further down, I press a little bit more. Little tiny bit more, and then just come off. Like so. Alright, now. Fine, let me just that's nice. Nice and stark contrast there, right beside that light. Okay, so now let me see, where are we here? So I'm going to put in some here. I'm just going to be cautious. I don't want it to be too light, or too dark, sorry. And I think that is too dark. Yes, I think it's a touch too dark. Because I'll glaze this whenever the time comes. Glaze that to a nice darker. And you know what? I think I'll do it now. I think the time has come, and I will do it now. Yes. Right, so using what I have here. A little bit cooler though. Tiny bit of ultramarine blue in it. A bit of a glaze. Bit of a glaze. All darker in the corner. There we go, look at that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now I'm going to take a good bit of this off. Just almost taking it back. There we go. I'm just leaving the corner of that nice and dark. Yes, 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 yes. That worked out well. Now where's that little brush? Okay, so a bit of a slightly lighter version of this, but a little bit reddish. I want to see what this looks like here. Because I just want you to see this and no more. Just a few trees stuck in here. Now I'll be taking some of that out. And I don't want to go too far. A little bit of spirits here just to help this come off the brush a touch. All right, so let me see. I just want to break this up a touch. Oh, is it easy? Too much? All right, now I'm just going to give myself a memento. I think I'll darken this area in here a little bit more. Yes, I think I will. Now, just in here. Dancing that about. Let me see. Yes, that's a bit better. Yeah, it gives it that kind of a mysterious look in the corner here. So just topping it on and topping it off. Now there's a little bit there that I want to cover up. Just let me put that in there for now. All right, okay. I slightly darken this. Yes, there's a slight glaze in here. Just bring that out to the edge. Okay, now what I'm going to do again is just lift a bit of this. Alright, it's coming along, folks, it's coming along. So it be. I think what I'll do is I'll work on... Yes. See, this is dried quite matte. So I'm going to do what I have been doing. Just glaze it a little bit. Just to bring out the colors again. Bring out that tone. I don't need to worry about these areas because I'm not really going to be going over these very much. Okay. Now, oh baba, I say, folks. Oh baba. So a nice red tree here. The base of a nice red tree. Can I have a bit of grey? Changing my mind as I go along, folks. Changing my mind. But that's alright. I don't mind doing that. I like doing that. So I'm going to just turn this a little bit towards me. Just so that I'm cognizant of what I'm doing. Let me just try this out here. Is that too bright? Nah, I think it's a touch too bright, folks. Alright, so then, same again right here, just boom, 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 boom. Then it comes up into a silhouette here at the back of this. Just here, boom, boom, boom. And just Okay. Now, I want to put another one. I want to put a few in here. I think I'm being a bit premature here. Just thin it out a touch. Flatten that brush. And barely touching the canvas here, folks. It's just dragging off this brush. Now a little bit thicker. A little bit darker at the base of this one. I'm going to thicken this one too a touch. So let me just thicken this one a bit. Now what do I think of that now? Not much at the minute. This little bulbous area here. Alright, that's a bit better. Yes, that's a bit better. The way that wee part of that roof is showing through there is a nice glint to it. And maybe take advantage of that and highlight that. That's one of those little happy little accidents, isn't it? But Bob Ross loves to talk about our happy little accidents. And it is one of those moments where you get to take advantage of things that just happen. Right, okay, now I'm just having a general look at these just to see what I think. I think I'm going to put in a third tree here actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to put in a third tree here. I'm going to darken the side of this one too, and I want to thicken this one as well. Alright, okay. Now, right, okay, so nice and thick. Gonna start this one off thick, folks. And then just release the pressure as I'm coming up. And you see the way I'm shaking my brush there, folks, that's on purpose. I don't have the shakes. There we go. That is just to create little jagged edges. Just create broken, jagged edges I should say. Getting there. And I'm getting happy with it too. It looking fine, so it is. Okay. I'm not happy with this here. I'm going to just slightly cover this. That's fine. Just a little bit of a cover. Now the base of those need fixed in, but Well, what I'll do is I'll create a small little one here. Now, I think I'll use a different brush. As much as I enjoyed using that, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to continue using this. So I am. And this will tell me whether I want to use this brush or not. Look at that. Oh. Now, the reason I'm in two minds here is that I want this to get a little bit lighter as I'm moving up. And nice and thin as well. And I don't actually mean viscosity of paint this time. I mean nice and thin branches. So I'm just going to be a wee bit cautious here. Oh, I'll use my maul stick. My IKEA cup holder. Nice and gentle. I'll make this just a touch thicker. I've brightened it. I forgot that I had brightened it a touch. I'm taking a bit off the brush here. Oh. And let me see, I'm not entirely happy with that, but I'm not entirely unhappy with it either. A simple fix to just knock it back a bit is just this. There we go. Just knocking that back a bit. There we go. Now, let's do the base of this again. Get it a bit darker. All right. Now, before I go ahead and get all this covered up, I'm going to put in a little bit of highlights in the roof. Just little dibs and dabs of it. Let me see, just a wee highlight. Let me see. Okay, just adding a little bit of interest. Okay, I don't want to do too much here now, so just on this other little small one here, let me see, is this brighter? See, it's not much brighter, so let's make it just a touch brighter. Just a little bit of interest, folks. There, look at that. Okay, happy enough with this now. Right. Now there's a lot of little twigs and whatnot yet to come off this. So there is, but not just yet. Not just yet. I think that house is a little tall, but I'm thinking of this one here. Well, it's okay, it's alright. I think it's okay. Right, so I'm not going to work on the reflections yet. I want to get this area here toned the way I want it. And it's, you know, it's almost there. Genuinely, it's almost there. So, you know, I don't really want to do too much. It's just that this, for me, is a bit dirty. So I'm going to clean it up. A little bit of white, tiniest bit of oxide red, and some yellow. A little bit more oxide red. And I just want to lay this down. That's nice, that's nice. All I was doing there was checking for brightness, and maybe it's a bit too bright at the minute. A little bit more yellow, I think. Yeah, that's a bit nicer. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. It's okay to let me see. Just thinking, folks. I'm just thinking. Right, so what I'm going to do is, if I have a clean finger, which I don't think I do, I prefer to do this with my finger, but I don't have a clean finger. Look at that. Just getting the edges worked in. There we go. Nice and bright. That's a nice spot for you. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the trees here. The reflections of the trees. So let me see. So, now, just knocking it back a bit. Look at that. It's just making it work there. And now I also want to soften it a bit. Actually, what I really want to do, and that's be honest here, I want to thicken it a touch. I redo that again. Just thicken these a bit. Alright, now let's do that again. And then I'm going to work it in with a bit of a very, 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 very soft touch. There we go. Now, let me see these two here, these two beasts here. So nice and dark and warm reflections here. Always follow the general rule of opposites. I don't know where this came from, just came to my head. And the reason being, and what I mean by that is, if it's dark up here, put a little bit lighter down here. If it's cold up here, put it a little bit warmer down here, and vice versa. If it's warm down here, make it cold up there, and so on, and so on. Now, of course, like everything, there are exceptions to that. Of course there are. Yes, look at that. I think, you know what? I think I'm going to almost leave this, you know. Let me just mess around with this here. Well, that's good. That's good, folks. Yes. And let's put this one in here. This one needs to be fixed. I'm looking at it there, and it properly needs to be fixed. So let me see, just again, let's just knock it back a touch. Look at that. Yeah, it's coming on rightly, I think. Now, just taking a little bit more off this brush, and then just put this in here. Slightly darker than what I just done. So let me see here. Does this go through here? Not quite. Alright, now you know what? I think I want more in that. So I'm going to create some more. I'm just going to create a little bit of a thing along here. Just. Just there. So that I can work this one. I just like the look of that. It's slightly angled. I just go with the angles, folks. There, look at that. Alright. Now I'm just going to knock it off a touch. There we go. There we go. Now. I'll be back in a second. Bye for the time being. Bye for now. Right, folks, I'm going to tackle this tree here now, right in the center. And nice and thin. I'm going to use my maul stick. I just want to see the tone of this. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, just a little bit warmer actually. We've got some light coming through there, right through it. So I'm just going to warm it up a touch. Just having a moment to myself, and I think that's dead on. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start layering in a lot of the little twigs here. So warm and dark, the light is shining through it. Warm and dark. I don't like those round ones, although there's plenty of round ones. I'll do a few there, but I was never that keen on them. Maybe a bit darker than that. Okay, alright. Now, as I say, there's plenty of these, folks, so, and it's all pretty much the same action. You're not going to miss anything if you fast forward this. As long as you get to see me do it once or twice, you should be fine. Okay. This is nice now. It's coming off well here. Okay, so give myself a bit of a clean, somewhat clean kitchen towel. It's just knocking some of that back a bit. The same over here. Okay, now what I think about this house is I'm going to cover it up with a little bit of a bush just in the corner of it here. Just a little bit of a tree coming up here. So a little bit of a scumble here. Now I don't want it to be that dark. Nope. So taking a good bit off the brush. I like doing this. So I like hiding some of it in behind bushes and trees and what have you. I think I'll do the front of it here. And a little bit of a green bush. Just a mild one. Just along here. Yeah, too green. Too green for what I want. Too saturated. Okay. That's a bit better. Right, while I'm here, may as well tackle, oh, excuse me, may as well tackle the base of these trees. Now, what I feel at the minute is that I'm getting a little tired, folks, and I can feel myself, my concentration beginning to wane a little bit. Now, so what I think I'll do is I'll take a bit of a break and I'll come back and finish this off. So I'll see you all pretty soon. Bye for now. Alrighty folks, back to this one. Now, there's a few things, before I kind of finish it, I'm going to finish it down here, and there's a few things I want to put into it. So, changing my glasses, learning from my mistakes. Right, now, I'm going to, as I say, there's a few things here that this has almost dried here. I just want to, I'm just thinning this out a bit. I think it's a bit too thick for what I want. All right, now I think I'll just take a little bit of it off. There we go. Now the same over on this side here. Let me see here. Is this too dark? No, I think that's fine. Just this branch here is a bit thick. I just thin it out a little bit. There we go. That's a bit better, I think. Just bring this down a little bit more. There we go, into a point. Alright, now I've thinned that out a little bit. Now, I want to continue to work here. Maybe darken this area up a little bit. So let's see. Let's try and get that part of it done. Alrighty, alrighty. Now, I will probably have to put out a little bit more paint here. Now I've thinned that out a little bit, and I think what I have done there is I've made it a bit too bright. So I'm going to slightly darken it while it's wet so that it can blend in with it. There we go. Slightly. Let me see, is everything right here? Just creating that roughness there. Now, you can get in a little bit of a darker thing here and just mess this up along here. I just don't want it to be such a straight line. There. Now the same goes here while I'm at it. Just looking for my brushes. Just same goes for all little pits and divots all along here, and this here needs to be bedded into it. Too much on the brush, so I'm just being cautious about what's on the brush here. Just a touch here. Same along here as well. That is a watery consistency, so that allows me to come in with my trusty little towel and just knock it out a little bit and create some texture. Okay, now I want to brighten a little bit of an area up around here. So I think I will put out some paint. I think I'll put out a little bit of yellow paint, at least for now. So it's just cadmium yellow medium. And plenty of not plenty, but making the viscosity pretty thin. Now it's a bit too much on the brush. I'm just going to take a little bit of it off here. Now, I'm going to be dabbing this off. All for the most part, most of this is going to be lifted. There we go. And all I was looking to do there is lighten it a touch, that's all. And I'd achieved that while keeping some texture. Okay, now I just want some broken edges along here. And let me see now. I have one already here. So a bit of a darker mix here, and just to begin with a few things, I just want to see, just testing it out. There's a big bubble in the center of this. Just give me a wee second here to pull this out. And I've got a brush in my tooth, so you might find it hard to understand me. Anyway, Okay, just breaking this up a little bit as I'm coming down here. I just want those edges, I don't want them to be so straight, so linear. Alright. Same again, I just gently this time, not along here, just okay, still maintaining that broken edge. Now more so along this one, this will really lift it up and narrow it a bit. I think it's a bit too broad. So let's achieve that. Let's go for this. Right, so a nice green here, a nice cool grey green, not saturated or not overly saturated. So a little bit of raw umber, really knock the saturation out of it. A little bit of red also will do it. And that's cadmium red, or sorry, oxide red. And now, so let me see. Now again, plenty of spirits in it, just to help it move a little bit. A bit more spirits actually. I don't want this to be too dry. I'm just keeping my eye on it here. Now I don't want to let this dry, so I'm going to be periodically stopping before completely covering this. And just lifting it. Look at that. That allows that background to show through. That's quite good. Now I do want to close this up a bit, so I'm bringing this up a bit here. Probably just up like so. Okay, that's closing it up, narrowing this a little bit. I want it a bit more narrowed down here too. So I'm just going to be playing here. Okay. Now as I come across here, it should be nice and dark. It is indeed. That's pretty good. Just gently across here. Now, and again, lifting this before it gets too dry. It really does set up very, very quickly, folks. So it's important that you stay on top of that. Let me just see where I am here. I still want this lifted a bit more. Actually, I think it's too. So I'm just going to come up a bit. I need a bit more paint. Just believe it to be a bit too broad. Now a little some darkness, some darker spots in it. Nice and thin. Just random bits here and there. Of course, just dabbing this on here and there too. Now, what has happened here is something is taking this away, and I don't like it. So I'm going to have to go in and fix this. Now, do I make it black or do I make it orange? I think I'm just going to go for the dark side of it. And I wonder, should I use some sort of ruler, some straight edge? That's fine. Now, just creating some mosses. And some highlights. Okay. I'm almost done, I think, folks. Just and I think that might be it, you know. But I'm unsure. So I think there's a little bit of, I think I'll just put a little bit of the ground in there just to cover that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a walk back here. Oh, I know what I have to do. I knew there was something else I had to do. I have to, where is my other brush? Here it is. Now, I have to darken the sides of these a little bit. And highlight them a little bit too. A bit of both. Just not too much on the brush. Yeah. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. A little bit of highlight on it. But I'm just going to kind of just drag this onto it just a little bit. Let me see. Let me see. Where are we? Where are we? Let me see. Now I'm wondering to myself, is the water busy enough? Or is it too busy? I think it's fine. Now, what about the trees? Should I put anything on them? No, I think, you know, at least for now, I think I'm done. And I might come back and have another little go at it, but no, I think I'm going to be done. So, I'm going to take off the tape. And as I take off the tape, I'm going to ask you, please, to like and subscribe. And if you do that, I don't know what, I'll just say thank you very much for doing it. This has all come off. What has happened? What has happened? Just give me a second. And also, there will be other videos, so I could direct you to them. They'll be up here somewhere, like a video to go and watch a sunset, or to go and watch another one of these types of ones. A dark mood setting one. I'll put them in, and again, if you could, please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. So, bye for now.